Alright, have you seen these here? Have you seen these things? These are your Illuminati New World Order card games. Steven Jackson games. I was at a garage sale the other day and I picked these up. There's all these different kind of Illuminati New World Order cards. And you go through these things and there's all different things to them. I don't have time to go through them all, but there's a lot of YouTube videos about these, in which a lot of people believe that some of the things in these cards are things that have been pre-planned. A lot of what they call false flags, they say, have been found in these cards. I don't know the history of these cards. I want to say they were started back in the 1990s, if I remember right. And there are so many different ones of these cards. But I just picked out a couple, because there are a lot of neat YouTube videos about it, and a lot of people are saying, what is this? For example, here's one of the cards. Now, I don't know about you, but that looks exactly like what happened on 9/11. Does it not? And yet this was made, what, 10, 15 years before? Here's an interesting one of the cards. What does that look like? Well, if you listen to radio on the internet, a lot of time you'll listen to Infowars.com. Doesn't that kind of look like Infowars? After the Boston bombing, a lot of people says, well, that's it. That's the Boston bombing right there. Well, I don't know. But it's interesting what people are finding in these cards and watching the news. That right there, what is that? Well, people say there was the biker gang fight. Where was it? I don't even remember where it was, where all these bikers supposedly had some kind of shootout, and it was in the news not too long ago. Here's a march on Washington. Well, you remember several years ago when the government shut down all the monuments so that the vets couldn't come in. There was this great big march on Washington. They even picked up gates and began to haul them all over. A lot of people in the news talking about the weather and the chemtrails, and I wonder if that ties into that. It's just interesting how somebody came up with these cards way, way in advance. Why, we just had, who'd we just have? Well, we just had the Pope come to America. Interesting. So this is some sort of a card game that you play. And it's all Illuminati. It's all, what can we do to take over the world, and stories can we do. It's just interesting. Some of these cards are just quite interesting. Read my lips. Well, that's just like George Bush said. Read my lips, no new taxes. So these cards are quite interesting. Here's Saddam Hussein. Does that mean anything? They kicked out Saddam Hussein. Here's one. Hey, look, it's Julian Assange. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's got the same hair as Julian Assange, that's for sure. Here's one. Let's go organized. Well, let's get organized. Well, that looks like Hillary, and that looks like who? Obama, who was the community organizer. It's funny. People see what they want to see, don't they? I don't know if there's anything to this, but it's interesting that there's video after video on the internet about this. Now, what is that? Well, there was just in the news this Muslim couple that went and did a shoot-up, and supposedly it was a man and his wife. I don't know if that's a wife or if that's a guy, but interesting. Jihad is one of the cards that you can play. Gun lobby. So there's all these cards. I don't know if you have these. I don't know where you get them from. All I know is I saw these at a shelf at a garage sale, and I said, wow, that's pretty cool. I think I want to get that one. And so I bought that and just been looking through them and trying to find what people on the internet find when they say, oh, these cards, they tell you exactly what's going to happen before it takes place. Really? Well, here's an interesting one. There was the attack in Paris here about a week ago. And I watched a video on YouTube just a few days ago. After that attack on Paris, that same night, there was a light that shined in the exact same spot as this light right here on the Eiffel Tower. Mean anything? Well, some people say the Illuminati is working their magic, and the Illuminati is behind all this, and they're following these cards. Moral majority, what is that? Senate Investigating Committee. What is that? So do these cards mean anything? I don't know. Echo Gorillas. Here's an Echo Gorilla card. Kind of looks like that old show Whale Wars. Here's United Nations. I don't know what these cards have to do with anything. Maybe they're just a game and made up. But kind of interesting. Well, that almost looks like the Ferguson riots there, doesn't it? Only wrong color, huh? But just interesting what they're doing today and how people can make that correlation and say, boy, that sure sounds like to me that these cards were written with foreknowledge. But that one right there, that is quite interesting. Quite interesting. So if you get a chance and you can buy all these cards, and there are a bunch of them, get those Illuminati cards, look through them, see what you think. Thank you for watching this, and I hope you make up your own mind about what these things are, and if they are indeed foreknowledge of some things that somebody knew was going to take place. Here's the date on the side, 1994, that these cards came out. So quite a long time ago, and yet there's things in these cards that almost look exactly like what has taken place in our world today. Why is that? Leave a comment below if you know anything else, or maybe you can add something to this on what these things are. Maybe there's a card in here I didn't see. I don't even think I have the whole set. Maybe you could give a link to some more that show, are these really like prophecies by the Illuminati of things that they're going to do in this world? Or is it just a harmless card game that has some very interesting coincidences with what really happened in real life? Thanks for watching.